So this is how it works. Crack Squad, they got this idea that if they can impugn someone's character, then that makes what they do okay. And that makes what Ryan Upchurch did okay, as long as they can impugn someone's character. And guess what, Crack Squad? No, it doesn't work. Okay. It amazes me that, for all you guys out there that have dealt with an ex that A, refuses to move on, or two, used your child as a weapon, as a pawn, used your child as leverage, or flat out refused to let you have a relationship with your child out of spite. Yeah, this is for you. And for those people that have dealt with an alcoholic, I don't know if you've ever dealt with alcoholism, but to those of us that have, it's a son of a bitch. Alcoholism sucks, and and one of the biggest reasons why is the reason why alcoholics drink is the alcohol is a comfort tool, just like someone that has an eating disorder or someone that has, say, a sex addiction or a drug addiction. Alcohol is a crutch, and they never deal with their emotions. So, how they deal with their emotions is to get drunk. And then, as soon as they get sober, the emotions are back. So, they got to get drunk again to feel good. And it's just a perpetuating cycle. And a person that, is an alcoholic, they will talk about something that happened 25, 30 years ago, like it happened yesterday, because they never dealt with it. They never moved on. They never processed their feelings the way a normal person would. You might, some event may happen in your life and you're sad for a few days and while you're dealing with it, and then you get over it and you move on, right? Well, an alcoholic, that process never happens. They just get drunk. So as soon as they get sober, right there, it's there again. And then they get drunk and now there's more. And then they get drunk and now there's more. And then they get drunk and now there's more. And it never ends. And trying to live with somebody like that, especially when you don't drink, is pretty tough. And it blows my mind that Crack Squad would actually think that I would care that you bring some drunk on from 25 years ago in my life. Like that's going to matter to me, because it doesn't, not one bit. The only thing that I guess I'm shocked is that you're still drunk. I can't believe you're still drunk. It's been 25 years and you're still drunk. And listening to your speech slur while you sit there lying through your teeth and whining about me just brings back every reason why, just justifies every reason why I got the hell away from you and stayed away from you and did everything I could within the limits of the law to keep you away from me. And I can see I'll probably still have to do it again. Now, I guess you forgot that you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing right now. Okay. Number one. And number two, it's time for you to get out of the way and let your son have a relationship with his father that doesn't involve your emotions, your spite, and your fucking alcoholism. It's just time for you to get out of the way. It's time for you to move on. I've been remarried for 22 years, lady. 22 years I've been married to someone else. I think it's pretty clear I'm not coming back. It's time for you to deal with it. And the only way you're going to be able to deal with it is to get sober. Okay. Our son is an adult now, and he wants to have a relationship with me, and he's going to have one, whether you like it or not. You're just going to have to deal with it. So you're either going to have to stock up on the alcohol and stay drunk, or get sober and move on. One of the two, because this ain't going to change nothing, period. And no, Crack Squad, you getting a drunk ex-wife from 25 years ago to come on and tell her swayed story that is so far from the truth. If it wasn't so goddamn pathetic, you could laugh at it, but it's actually pathetic to think that, the drunk person was the one that had it together and the sober person was the one that was the problem. Yeah, I know. Everybody's going to believe that, I'm sure. I frankly, I don't give a shit. I'm not a bit ashamed of leaving your dumb ass where I left you. The constant coming home from work drunk, the constant hanging out with guys from work drunk every night. Yeah, no, that's not for me. That's not the life I want. I'm not going to deal with somebody getting drunk and going off the fucking deep end over nothing. I mean, over the most trifle shit. So yeah, it's it's just laughable to listen to you still crying and still drunk after 25 years. And they arrest people if you don't pay child support, right? You guys know that, right? So when you hear the story that no child support was paid, yeah, well, I would have been in jail if that was the case. Yes, when I got very, very ill, I wasn't able to pay because I was in the hospital. When you go through a bone marrow transplant, it fucks you up for a while. So I did have some arrearages there that are long since paid. But they hear a story that no child support was ever paid. Yeah, I'd like to see somebody get away with that. Yeah, work full time and pay no child support. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny to hear the story from the drunk again, just as I suspected. And I'm sure that's the same poison that was put in my son's head. Uh, I'm absolutely sure of it. But no, crack squad, it doesn't intimidate me a bit. You think I'm the only guy out there that ever got divorced? You think I'm the only guy out there that's got an ex-wife and say something bad about him? Come on. I guarantee you I could talk to any one of you idiots ex and they wouldn't have nothing but shit to say, right? So no, it doesn't bother me a bit. It's just sad to know that she is still drunk. It's sad to know that she still hasn't moved on. It's sad to know that she's still trying to meddle in her in that boy having a relationship with me. And she stood in the way the entire time. She made it absolutely impossible. Having a relationship with my son meant I had to deal with her and her alcoholism. And she shows up on holidays unannounced at my family's, expecting my wife, the woman I'm married to not be involved, and for me to spend time with her and my son. I mean, that was the shit she had in her head, that's the way it would go down. Couldn't make her understand I'm remarried. You need to bring him, drop him off. Me and my wife will spend time with him. No. That couldn't never happen. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, crack squad. Nice try, Frank. Doesn't bother me a bit, dude. What you did to those women sitting on that panel doxing them was a crime. It was a cyber crime, Power Stroke, and you're going to get sued for it. Some people are going to sue you. And it's not the people you think. It's some people that they're just totally out of left field. You're not going to expect it, but you are going to be sued. And as you can know, we do know your address. We do have your address, and you are going to get feckin' nailed for it. And the rest of you are too. The other three of you. Now, I think Power Stroke will get the worst of it because he's made the most noise and tried to act like it was funny and act like it was justified and continued it. Two of them, three of them had sense enough to shut up about it and hope maybe it went away. Power Stroke, not smart enough. He's kept it going. So I know for certain he's going to get his ass handed to him, for sure. But no, dude, you bring her on and let her get drunk and tell you stories every night because the truth lives right here. And dealing with an alcoholic was an absolute son of a bitch. And I would have never in a million years ever even moved in with her had I known she drank like that. She hid it. Had I known she was getting drunk with her coworkers every fucking night instead of working late, like I was being told, had I fucking known she was going to someone else's motel room drunk, and I'm thinking she's working late. Yeah, had I known all that, yeah, I would have left a lot sooner. But yeah, I finally did get the courage to go, and I didn't go back. And there was a reason why I left, and it wasn't the story you heard, not by a long shot. My sons, both of them, remember exactly what happened. You might think they forgot, Cheryl, but they don't. They remember it very well. And your little story is just that, your drunk story. And you're not going to be able to cry victim because when I started this podcast and I talked about my past a little bit, I was very brief. I didn't mention any names, any locations, anything like that, right? So nobody would have known it was you that I was talking about, right? But now everybody knows it's you, Cheryl Conan. That's who we're talking about here. A drunk, an alcoholic, a severe alcoholic with a massive drinking problem. Don't believe me? Check the courts. That's all I'll say about that. It's time for you to quit drinking and move on, Cheryl. You got to go to AA. You got to go check yourself in somewhere. You got to do something. But this here shit of you getting drunk and whining about me constantly, still, after I've been remarried for 22 years, you're still getting drunk and whining about me. You got a problem, lady. And if my son wants to come and spend time with me, he's going to do it. He's an adult now, and there ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. You'll just have to fucking like it or lump it. And thank you, Crack Squad. Appreciate it. It gave me a laugh. At the same time, I'm just saddened by the whole fucking thing, just to know that the drinking still is going on. And to any of you guys out there, you gotta watch the red flags. And if you see red flags, go with your gut, because I talked myself out of leaving one too many times and ended up with even more liability when I should have left the first fucking time I realized she was drinking without me knowing about it. That's when I should have left. The first fucking time I came home and you were shit faced and you had all my shit boxed up, my belongings, my stuff boxed up, I should have left that day. That's when I should have left. Oh, no, like a dummy, guys, like a dummy. I talked myself out of it. Don't do what I did. Get out immediately. If you're in a relationship with somebody right now and they're getting drunk and it's a problem, get out. Leave just right now. Go get your shit and leave, because it's never going to get any better. I can tell you, it'll just get worse. And yeah, Crack Squad, if you think I'm ashamed of leaving that fucking drunk, you're out of your mind. That's the best goddamn thing I ever did. I am married to Cheryl. This is for you. Okay. I'm married to an absolute angel. The woman I'm married to is probably one of the most perfect human beings I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. Just an awesome person. 22 years we have been together and have never even had an argument or exchanged an insult or even said a crossword to one another. That's the kind of relationship you can have when you're sober, Cheryl.